On Valentine Ozigbo, the president and CEO of Transnational Corporation of Nigeria, joins me to break down the company's half-year numbers. But before we get into the numbers, the Valentine, if looking at the conversations with Norman Fury over there and the work of the Tony Elumelu Foundation, I'd like to know how, because I know the Transcorp is quite affiliated with the brand, the Tony Elumelu brand. I'd like to know how the Transcorp as a company supports the foundation.
Just to say that we were thoroughly impressed what the foundation has done over the years, especially with the TEF Forum that started just 5 years ago, and a platform created to support entrepreneurship, basically, and living what our chairman, who is also the founder of Tony Elumelu Foundation, Mr. Tony Elumelu, coins as Afro-capitalism. A way to recognize the importance of private sector, and more importantly, the young minds that we have as assets in Africa, unleashing those potentials to see how we can solve myriad of problems we face in Nigeria, in Africa. So it's been impressive seeing how those leadership from political, economic, and what have you, converge together in one place. And what we call the largest gathering of African entrepreneurs. And this is the first time it's happening in Abuja at the Transcorp Hilton. And I must say, very impressive. I can go on and on about what has happened. I believe your viewers have been watching and seeing. So now for us, chairman of Transcorp and the founder of the foundation is one and the same person. And beyond that is also the value we see in what the foundation is doing, the brilliance we see in actually democratizing luck, making sure that the young minds are unleashed, like I said before, to achieve their greatest potentials. And so because of that value, we do partner with the foundation. Part of our corporate social responsibility also goes towards supporting the great works that the foundation does. And for this in particular, we're very pleased that it was actually undertaken in our own grounds in Abuja. It showed clearly, and this happened during the weekend, and we've been on the verge and pushing the agenda to see how we can transform Abuja into a weekend city, into an entertainment hub. And all of that was achieved during this weekend.
And I'd just like to get a sense of, looking at the fact that this year so far, looking at the first half of the year, it's been an election year so far. We've seen the economy, we've seen the GDP numbers coming in there, still a bit weak. And how has this generally impacted all the businesses that you run? Because I understand you're quite a conglomerate.
Yes. For the hotel business in particular, we were quite well impacted, I would say almost negatively, by the election scenario that played out. And let me try and break this down. So it's not just about the election day proper, but even the build-up to the election, there's always that apprehension, especially from the international community. What is going to happen? Is it going to be a peaceful election? So a lot of events just disappear. You don't get to see events happen. And then we faced the shift in the date of election. That, again, elongated our pain period. And then what you also find is majority of occupants of our hotels are usually the election monitors, and these come with extremely low budgets. And we'll be lucky to get $100 average daily rate. So with that, again, impacts kind of dips our number. And then by the time the election is over and winners emerge, and then the whole usual delays we have, especially, for instance, appointment of ministers, a lot of actions and steps that could have taken much earlier, all of that began to impact. But what is good is that all of those are behind us now. As we move into the third quarter, ministers have been nominated. Hopefully they get their portfolios within a week, and we can make progress. So I think the impact we witness as far as election is concerned is with regards to our hospitality business. But for power business, I wouldn't attribute a lot to the election impact, other than the fact that there are some policy directions that we expect to see. For instance, what are we doing about tariff? How do we get payments of, we're owed over 80 billion by NBET, which is a sovereign debt. As we were discussing and engaging with the stakeholders, some of them lost their portfolios and now we have to start all over. Yeah, so those are the ways we get impacted also on the power side. And but generally, we're very optimistic about the next, the current quarter, and in fact, throughout the end of 2019.
All right, then. Well, very quickly, just to give me a sense of what to expect from the year, because I don't understand that you and the consortium of companies are about to acquire the Afamgenco. Just very quickly. Okay,
so just to say that on the current business, we're hoping to ramp up capacity to about from 333 megawatts to about 400 megawatts. On the hotel side, moving the occupancy and also the average daily rate, and so we see marginal improvement in the RevPAR, the revenue per available room. And then for the new acquisition we're planning, so here we are, of course, going through what we're going through in power, but now looking to even deepen our play in the power business, simply because of our belief in the country and the optimism we have about the prospects of the power industry. We consider this a business beyond just making money. It's about changing and transforming Nigeria. And so what we do, we came together as a consortium between Transcorp PLC and Transcorp Power Limited, and appointing our technical partners, went in for the bid, and through the technical and commercial submissions, with a winning price of about $306 million, we won the bid. We received formal communications from the Bureau for Public Enterprises, and waiting for final approval of the NCP. And with that, in another 6 months, we will hopefully consummate the full acquisition of the
So
power.
more to expect in 6 months' time?
A lot to come.
Thank you so much for your time on the show, Valentine. Very interesting conversation. I've been speaking to Valentine Ozigbo. He's the President and CEO of Transnational Corporation of Nigeria.